And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 237. So I hope you guys had a great day and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, just in a little bit after we have our usual guy talk on the show that you guys all know and love, we're going to talk about Jake Schreier. He could be directing the MCU X-Men film, and we're going to talk about Thunderbolts' box office for week 3. So those are the only topics for tonight for the MSK show. And you guys are probably wondering, why is Spencer Dingisden here? So this is the story. So basically, we usually have, Bob Loves Movies on, he had a dentist appointment and then he doesn't feel too good. Honestly, he's still recovering from that. And then I also messaged Iron to be on, and then he never got back to me. I think he's just sleeping. And then after him, we had Grey Poupée, the guy who's the mustard jar. Apparently today he found out, or he forgot, it was his anniversary. Yeah, people forget he's actually a married guy. So yeah. So Bob was recovering from a dentist appointment, and Gray had an anniversary, and Iron's just he's just sleep. That's just how it works. But I did secure people to make sure they can come on next week, which is easier because next Monday, people don't know, is the very, very busy day, which is Memorial Day, actually. So the box office weekend next week is just going to be considered Memorial Day weekend. And, people are going to be traveling. And back when I was younger, I didn't really fully understand why these were holidays for like Labor Day and Memorial Day, but
sure,
as I got older, I was like, okay, that's what it really means, and that's a good thing, actually. That we should celebrate people that gave their lives so we could have this beautiful country, or that is America, actually. So that's pretty much it. You guys probably saw me attempt to stream League of Legends a few times, so I figured out the issue. Me and James correctly identified the issue, and it's fixed. So I figured, since I have a brand new PC and my game streams are going to be even better compared to when I had my previous PC, which I still use my previous PC. It's literally right next to me. I have it for certain uses that I was already using it for. I'm just going to use them for the things that I was already doing. I'm going to do a new titled League of Legends and Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel streams, starting from doing just what the Marvel Comics, are always going to do. Get to a, certain point and then relaunch with an all-new number one. This is my last time relaunching with an all-new number one, because that's what Marvel Comics keeps doing, especially with Scarlet Witch. A lot of people don't actually know this. They did this with Scarlet Witch for the last about 3 years. It did this with Scarlet Witch. So it would be like Scarlet Witch, then it's canceled after 10 issues. Then it's Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, because then that gets canceled after like 10 issues. Then it's Scarlet and by herself. That gets canceled after 5 issues, because it sells even worse than the previous times. Then after that, it's now Scarlet and Witch and Vision now. Now it's going to be them as a duo. Then that's going to get canceled, guys. And it's going to go back to Scarlet Witch. But I'm done with that. Like with the MSK show, this is our, we're just all in right now. We're in our DC all in phase on the MSK show.
Let's go.
We're all in. The Cloud9 podcast is essentially what Marvel Comics used to be. No reboots. We just keep going. We just keep pushing through. But my own other podcast, which is this one, this has been through multiple iterations, as you guys know. But we're in our final DC all-in absolute universe here with this show. That's where we've landed at this point, So there's no reason why the game streams just can't go back to a number one and then just keep going from there. So essentially, think of the game streams, they're in their absolute phase at this point. But how was your day, man? How's your weekend been too?
It's been a good weekend, good day. I've been doing good, getting out some content myself and getting stuff ready there, and so it's been good. I can't complain.
It's crazy. I was looking through my finances, which I probably shouldn't do because I spent too much money on comic books. If you guys don't know, comic books are expensive, but I will tell people this. What you need to do to build up a small collection, because I get this question asked quite a bit on my comic channel. It's like, how do you build up a small collection that's on a budget? This is what this is like the only way you can do it. And I don't exactly recommend this because, well, I did it myself and I realized it's not really the best bang for your buck. But if you're on a budget, doesn't really matter. I know a lot of you guys buy shit on Amazon, and I know a lot of you buy books on eBay too. On Amazon, if you don't use Prime and you go up and buy a book and you select the filter, so you select like very good, new, acceptable, good, whatever. If you want to get the absolute cheapest option for a collected edition book, you're probably just gonna have to get certain books acceptable. Now, keep in mind, when I say that, people are gonna be like, aren't those usually in bad shape? Really just depends. I've only really ever had one specific book that came out bad. And the book itself didn't really come out bad. It was only literally
Mhm.
so when you open it, and it was like this Iron Man ultimate guide or whatever. It's like those guides they put out every once in
Right.
a while for the character to, culminate all their history. Two of the pages, I think it was when they got to deep into the bottle, and I think to like the extremist part of his storyline, the pages were just literally sliced in half. So like they were there, they were just cut. Everything else was fine. So that's the risk you take with running when you buy acceptable books. What I always say to do, if you're trying to build up a collection from start, what you should do is that you just pick a character out, pick your favorite character, then buy trade paperbacks. I would say do those first because that's like a really cheap investment for how much money you really want to spend on things later on down the road. So cheap trade paperbacks, depending on which type of storyline it is, depending on which, like, I would say initiative that the character could have been on when it was running, is
Mhm.
going to be either really cheap or expensive. Now, trade paperbacks typically are like you could literally get three of them for less than $20. So like let's say you like Superman and you're like, "Hey, I heard a lot of good things about Superman and his freaking New 52 era." Well, by this point, since New 52's been damn near 13 years away at this point when that thing first started, you can probably find Superman New 52 era books really cheap. You just have to know how to look. Like literally you could pretty much find what's that story that Scott Snyder did? I think it was Superman Unchained. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can get that hardcover for like less than $30, honestly. That's like with tax included. So with tax on books is
Yeah.
literally like only like $5-6.
Mhm.
Now, I would say this: whenever you're on a budget, you must also consider bang for your buck too. So this is what I would also say: if you're someone that likes to basically get something and you like a plethora of it, like you just want a lot of it at once, so you can kind of binge all the way through it. Because I know a lot of you guys binge like TV shows like on Netflix and shit. What you should do is probably okay. So let's say you like Superman, get an actual Superman omnibus. If you're like, but I only have like $150, doesn't matter because that omnibus you could definitely find for really cheap and in good condition. And if that omnibus costs like $60, well, you're getting literally about what 800 pages, maybe minimum for that omnibus, and you only spent like $70, then you have like $80
Mhm.
left over to buy whatever you want. So I would say if you're more of a binge person, getting omnibuses
Mhm.
kind of like literally is a better bang for your buck, honestly, because you're getting more of it at once, and then there's no way a person sits there and reads an omnibus an entire day. If you do, you're a weirdo. Just letting you know that you're not a sane human being if you read 1,500 pages in a day. Because that Night Terror omnibus that DC Comics put out, I think it was last week. That shit was 1,500 pages. No one read that in one sitting, and if you did, you're definitely a single guy in some sort of basement, some sort of like you probably work at home, probably have like I don't know millions of dollars or something. But yep, that's what I would say. Pick one character and try to buy a book cheapest whenever you can, and then whenever you can upgrade to better quality like hardcovers or whatever collected edition format that's a better quality of said book. That's what you should do. Or you do what Spencer does. You just get books digitally, actually. Yeah.
I typically get more of them in print. Actually, I like in print stuff more. Um, I have a big stack of stuff that
You have a big sack? Oh shit. Damn. That
I
means
have
you're
a
black. Holy crap.
I have a big stack of stuff that I got from like conventions and stuff. That's like really cheap there, or just good deals there. Um, and then some other stuff that I kind of just asked for
You
like
have the
for
Green
Christmas.
Lantern omnibus right there. I think it's volume one, the one where he's posing like this. Hal
Yeah, I
Jordan.
do. I literally do have that. Yes,
I
I
have
do.
to get that one. I people have been saying because I like Hal Jordan a lot. I have to get all three of them. God,
Yeah.
I it's like one of those omnibuses that every time I get paid, I'm like, I want this so bad, and then I get another one. So when I get paid this next week coming up, I'm definitely finally gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it for the first time.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I have
I
that
need to
stuff
get
in
the
I had
others.
that stuff in trade, but everyone says it's really really good, which is crazy because it's weird. At one point, DC Comics didn't even do anything with Green Lantern. At one point, it was just shelved for whatever reason. Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
No, it was The Green Lantern stuff is great. It's definitely worth reading. It's awesome. I need to get the other two omnibuses myself. I also have elsewhere. I have my the Green Lantern Corps Volume 1 that they did that Tomasi did. That goes alongside that.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also coming out this week, we should check on what's coming out this week. Let's see, trade paperbacks, hardcovers. So as you guys know, my last week's episode of Comic Book Market Watch, I know is late, but don't worry, it's done, it's finished. It'll be released tomorrow afternoon before Comic Book Wednesday. Don't worry, I'll have the other one coming out way sooner than this past week's episode. But if you are buying books this week, we may make this bigger.
Here,
You have like Detective Comics. You have Nightwing that comes out this week. Absolute Flash #3. I'm reading Ultimates, or I plan to read it in trade, so it doesn't matter if that's a monthly title. You would get World's Finest if you're interested in the We Are Yesterday event right now. That's between this title and Justice League Unlimited. Just being honest with everyone, Fantastic Four is getting relaunched to a #1. Just oh god, Marvel.
Same creative team too.
Yeah, they do it all the time. They literally will relaunch shit with the same creative team just to give it a new #1. It's like if the creative team is the reason why people stopped reading the book, Marvel fun, holy shit, light bulbs go off in your head. Change the creative team. It's literally that's what I like that DC Comics did with their All In initiative. They're like, you know what? These were selling okay toward the very end of their respective arcs. Let's kind of swap everything around. Let's switch it all up. Did very well for them, because a new fresh perspective on a character is always good. Like they had Mark Waid go to Action Comics for a little bit. They had Philip Kennedy Johnson take over for Joshua Williamson on Batman and Robin. They had fucking a new person on Green Arrow. Well, Joshua Williamson, goddamn, he was doing like 50,000 books. I don't know how that guy's brain is not fried. Amazing Spider-Man #4. I don't know anyone reading Wonder Woman by Tom King, despite this being a huge seller when it's the ICV2 charts every single week. I have no clue who's reading this, unless Jared. And Jared usually yells at people who read Tom King stuff. So, Batman and Robin Year 1. I'm just gonna buy this in trade. But I've been getting the single issues just kind of cause. Titans, New Gods, Incredible Hulk, Exceptional X-Men. This is still going. Is
that the one? Is that one that goes to 10, or is it going beyond? I don't know.
I think they said it's going to go beyond 10.
Okay.
Because what's his name? Tom Brevoort said you shouldn't worry about that. He said literally, don't worry about a series that you might think it might be canceled. I don't know how that works. The reason why I want to know if it's going to get canceled is because I don't want to keep paying money for it to get canceled. What the fuck? It's a pretty simple line of thinking. He literally said, "Well, you shouldn't worry about that. You should just kind of keep buying and hope for the best." That's all right. So that's kind of tells me everything I need to know.
X-Men editorial is a mess.
Zatanna, Iron. Keep in mind, I read most Iron Man in the collected edition. There's characters that are just on my pull list because I just like them. I like Iron Man and Batman and Superman stuff was always going to be kind of on there just cause, but not heard good things about this new recent Iron Man run. Superman Unlimited.
That's a big one. Can't wait for that.
Dan Slott, who did Superior Spider-Man, is writing this. Ralph Albuquerque on art. Ralph Albuquerque's art looks honestly amazing.
Oh yeah.
And Dan Slott, he said it's not going to be like Superior Superman or something like that. I'll just imagine a world where Lex Luthor just wants to be in Superman's body. Just be like, you know what? Fuck it. I fought this guy for like, let's say 80 years. It's time for me to just be inside you. Let me do it. It's like, all right. Don't do that, please. That would be just weird. Red Coat, Bug Wars. Yeah, so we have to finish Bug Wars. We read issue 1. Issue 1 was really, really, really good. It's only going to be a 6-issue miniseries, so we're going to try and finish the rest of it before the trade comes out. Hopefully. Maybe. Spider-Man and Wolverine #1.
Interested in that. I don't know if I'm going to get it, though.
Mark Guggenheim is the writer. Kari Andrews is the artist. Art looks kind of weirdly 90s, but weirdly disproportionate. It's supposed to be, I guess it's supposed to be the thing. It's supposed to be super over exaggerated, super muscular. I mean, I guess. I mean, I usually try to read issue 1s and see if I'm gonna just go through them. Usually try. All right, go down. Page on the internet. Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog in DC issue 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab this. Let's see what else is here. The Thing.
That one I'm looking forward to.
They're giving The Thing his own solo series. Or okay, how many issues do you think this gets in before they cancel this?
I think it was already announced to be a limited series with the intent. So I think it's 5 issues. I could be wrong.
That'd be a mini series, so that's like 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh Lord. Fucking Marvel.
Oh, there it is.
Doing it again. We're doing it again. And now it's different, guys. It's different this time. This time it's called The Vision and Scarlet Witch. See, they swapped them this time. What the fuck? I guarantee you guys, we click this tab, you read the comments. Can't wait till it reboots again.
Why is he white?
Relaunching this. I get canceling a 10-issue ongoing to replace it with. Yep. That's every single time it's with Scarlet Witch. Marvel, Scarlet Witch can't sell books. I'm sorry. I like Wanda. She's really attractive. But this lady just don't sell books. It's not a character people are interested in reading a story for. I'm sorry. This is a character that you might as well, if you're going to keep doing this, you might as well just release the trades. Why even have it as a book to buy? Just release it as a trade. It's the same writer every single time. It's always Steve Orlando doing it for like the last 2 to 3 years. Look, I mean, this Alex Ross variant with Quicksilver, I think some of these variants are really, really cool. Like, these look awesome. Yeah. These look freaking great. But if you guys have not found the gimmick yet, please stop. Medieval Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, Hulk and Doctor Strange #1, Vatican City #2. Facsimile stuff. Have you bought any facsimile books, actually?
Not really. Not much.
I mean, I never have. I never bought a single one. Let's see what else is here. DC's Finest, The Killing Joke. Okay, cool. I'll probably buy that. I have the hardcover anyway, but I'll get that. Yeah. Green Lantern, Volume 3, Power of Will. Nice. Definitely grabbing that. That is, I bought Volume 1. That shit was so good. I'm definitely buying Volume 3. I have Volume 2, just haven't read it and reviewed it yet. I have the first compendium to this. I have the first one.
Nice.
I have to buy this. I will buy the second one. Void Rivals. I never actually read any Void Rivals. The only thing I read was just the Transformers stuff. I've not heard anything bad about Void Rivals.
I've read the first volume. It's really interesting. But I read the Energon the Universe one, free comic book day issue that came out this year. And it sets up some really interesting stuff in that universe. Specifically, if you're into the what are those called? The guys in Transformers that are like those aliens. They were in Transformers 1 if you watch that. What are they called? They're like the big head guys, and they kind of.
I keep forgetting their names. Aren't they called like Primes or something? No, I don't. I keep forgetting. I know what you're talking about. It's like the versions of like their gods or something like that. Unless I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I might be wrong about that. What else is coming out? Suicide Squad by John Ostrander, Omnibus, Volume 1. Deadpool by Cody Ziegler, The Death of Wade Wilson. Oh my
Quintessons. That's what they're called.
Captain America by Michael Straczynski, Volume 3. Wait a minute. Michael Straczynski's run on Captain America ended a while ago. This should have been out. Hold on. Should have been out ages ago. It's coming out release May 20th. Yeah, issues 12 through 16. Previous. That feels so far away. This run ended so long ago. Captain America is the same thing too. It's always a relaunch and a renumber back to the same shit, actually.
Yeah. Marvel's quite dependent on that.
Oh God. What else is here? Archie Comics. I don't read any of that. Superman, the Death and Return of Superman. DC will always find a way to reprint the Death of Superman.
That has to be one of the most printed stories ever, along with Killing Joke.
Has to be. Yeah. I would just say get the omnibus if you want. I mean, this is going to retail for less than that, but omnibus, you get a hardcover. I mean,
I think DC's doing a good job here putting out these compendiums now, where Image, I think, previously was killing in that department of having these cheap compendiums, and I think DC's now trying to compete with Image in that way.
I agree. Yeah, and I think, do you prefer, I like all forms of collected edition. I don't mind compendiums. I mean, I have a lot of them. They look fine, honestly. I think it's because people don't like the binding of them because they can feel kind of flimsy, but
that's fair.
I always try to be like, how much are you reading this book? Are you just whacking this thing on the wall? Like, what are you doing? But no, it's nice to see them doing more compendiums of stuff that maybe you can't really justify in omnibus. You just give it a compendium. This is Mark Miller's Ultimates. I bought Ultimate Spider-Man and I bought Ultimate X-Men for the Epic Collections. For anyone that doesn't really know, Epic Collections are what people usually want. You can start at the very beginning of a character's introduction. So if you want to get into Marvel's previous Ultimate Universe, the very beginning for Epic Collections, they're at volume 1s. Epic Collections, the reason why I would always kind of advocate getting them is because they do go out of print. Like, and these things end up being like some of the most asked for things after the print's over. And Marvel, it's a freaking coin toss if they're gonna ever reprint certain things. Like randomly, they'll like do second printings, like with Iron Man recently with the whole Armor War story arc. They reprinted that Epic Collection. But if you really want these in Epic Collection format, because you can't afford to buy an omnibus of these certain types of runs, I'd recommend getting the Epic Collections. They do actually go out of print. It's not something that I would be like, go and buy because I get a sponsorship. No, if you actually want Epic Collections, you need to buy them. I've searched through a lot of Epic Collection stuff, and they can be expensive, especially the X-Men ones. Those are expensive, and so are the omnibuses. Marvel, reprint your fucking shit. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's the reason why I got Marvel Unlimited, was to read the older X-Men stuff, because the print versions of that is so stupidly expensive.
Yeah, because you could either get it in Marvel Masterworks, but even those are going to be not like super pricey, but it's like those are the format of those books are weird. And then if you get the Epic Collection, like the Epic Collection, so I bought the very first one. It was like $40. I was like, all right, cool. Let's go to the second one. The second one has not been reprinted, and that shit was like $250. I was like, I'm done. Not doing that. Not even, I just immediately stopped. And I tried to go to the omnibus route, and then you start with the original, which is cheap, but then you try to get to giant size X-Men omnibus, because that's where it starts the whole like Chris Claremont run. Yeah. Wallet doesn't need that hurting right now. That's not how you do it. So good luck collecting X-Men for a while, people. Amazing Spider-Man second printing, Star Wars. We're gonna read and review Absolute Marshmallow Hunter tomorrow with me and Labs Comic Fans, so we'll have that. That's pretty much it. So I'll make sure to run down more of the stuff when I do the episode of Comic Book Market Watch this week. But is there anything, before we get to the topics, is there anything you wanted to talk about and cover?
I didn't really have anything in mind right offhand. I don't know. I don't feel like there's really been much news that's really stood out where I'm like, that really stood out to me. Definitely a bit of a slower news week in general, I guess.
That's crazy. Any videos you're planning on working on, like any big projects, or are you just still doing the same thing?
Today, me and Darth Pyron we recorded our next episode of Shell Talk, where we talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. And so we started with Last Ronin, and now we're going through the original Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, black and white classic comics there. So we recorded a new one of those today that's going to be going up tomorrow.
That's going to be quite a bit of a journey. Let's just say that.
Yeah. We're on our fifth one. That is dubbed The Return of Shredder. So,
oh, gosh. And then your other friend, the one you did the I forget his name. It's the one you were on for. It's the one beside Darth. This is the guy you usually have on
for Comic Den.
Yeah.
Yesterday we did our I Hate Fairyland Volume 1, where have you read that?
No.
That story is wild. You should check it out. Yeah. It's a great story. Yeah. It's one of those things. Just go read it. Whatever you think it is, you're not ready for
forgetting. Forget his name is Steve. Usually have Steve on.
Goodness Steve's with me on Comic Den, yeah.
Okay, and then I think you said you're going to review Star Wars Darth Maul, son of Dathomir?
I'm going to be doing that with Ro on Scarif Podcast.
Okay.
And so we're going to be starting that next week. Talk about over on his channel.
Awesome. All right. Let's talk about some fun Marvel stuff, everyone, because this is going to be some bangers. Hey everyone, I am MSK and I'm a black guy and I'm gonna fuck your wife. I'm joking. These are jokes, guys. God damn, can't get canceled anymore. I'll ever canceled once from YouTube. They're like, okay, too much blackness is enough. But no, let me set this up really quickly. And I'm always gonna butcher this person's freaking name. The Thunderbolts director's correct pronunciation of his name is Jake Schreier or Schreier. What are these names?
I would think Schreier, but I could be wrong, as I'm definitely the last person you'd want to ask.
Okay, Lord, because a black man that can't read, whoo, wow, that would be insane. All right, so let me put his name Schreier into Google. Let's hit how to pronounce. How do you pronounce this? Schreier. Is that? It's really? I'm not calling him that. It's not a if it says break down the word Schreier. Oh my God, what are these names? I'm just calling him. I'm calling how his name is pronounced how I see it. That's how it goes. I'm sorry if he sees this video and I pronounce it wrong. I'm generally sorry. Get a more easier name, buddy. Holy mother freaking gosh. All right. Let's see what is gonna happen because we're gonna have an absolute banger. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the upcoming MCU X-Men film. So you guys probably remember the Fox X-Men universe that started with the 2000s X-Men movie that was directed by Bryan Singer. It starred Hugh Jackman, Famke Jensen, Halle Berry, and all those guys. And now at this point, you know, we're going to get a brand new X-Men film for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And they actually might be having the film get directed by, wait a minute, hold on. I think I saw a black outside. Did you see a black outside?
They're doing crack!
Oh,
I saw a black guy.
Oh my God! Wow!
I'm kidding.
crazy.
My whole internet just died out right in front of me. Nah, guys, I'm fucking joking. When you guys watch this on the replay, you're gonna be like, wow, this guy's fucking insane. But I'm a genius, actually. This is all up here. It's all genius. All right. No more playing around. Just gonna go straight into it, dive into my wife and destroy her, throw her outside. Tonight I'm gonna get kicked out by my wife's boyfriend. Do you believe me?
Absolutely. Definitely going to happen. Just wait for it in the matter of 10 minutes from now. Stay tuned.
Wow. If my wife kicks me out for her boyfriend, that would be crazy. All right. Let's have some fun, people. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the upcoming MCU X-Men film. So, feels like it was just yesterday when the 2000s X-Men movie came out and hit the box office worldwide in all those theaters. Man, back in the year 2000, damn, I was like 6 years old. Holy motherfuck. So you guys remember that Fox had this X-Men universe that started back in the year 2000, and it ran all the way up until what I think that movie came out. It was called New Mutants. Was like the last one that came out, and it got like delayed like 1,000 times or whatever. And the trailers just always looked more and more and more different. Like I always was thinking, like every time I saw those trailers for New Mutants, I was like, this looks kind of cool, but the trailers were always so different from one another. I was like, okay, I'm just not interested at this point because it just kept getting delayed that much. And then by the time that I kind of dipped out of the Fox X-Men universe, I think it was what was the last movie I watched? Because Logan came out after Apocalypse. So I pretty much just gave Logan the final chance, and then I was done. So I didn't watch
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix because
Good.
what they did to Apocalypse, I was like, wow,
Right.
this is actually terrible. This is crazy because I grew up with some of these movies too. I'm old at this point now. I'm like out of the game. I already got married. I have like 5 kids. The wife's banging hot. I got a Lamborghini outside. You know, go to Vegas every week and we have sex, which is obviously not true because I'm just sitting in my house talking to the freaking computer screen for the last 10 years. Jokes aside, a lot of people do this like revisionist history with those movies. They were really good when they were really good. Some of them hit
Right.
incredible notes. But for being completely honest here, a lot of them were very bad. Like starting off with X-Men Last Stand, remember it was directed by Brett Ratner, the guy that directed the Rush Hour movies and Money Talks with Chris Tucker. Keep in mind, great job in those movies. They're comedy related. Yeah, another person you kind of want directing an X-Men movie, and it just came out bad. Like X-Men Last Stand was just terrible. And then X-Men Origins Wolverine comes out 3 years later, and it's like, hold my beer. I'll actually just be the worst superhero movie ever created. One of, because there was worse that came out after that, but that movie is terrible. I own that shit on DVD. I watched the movie like a fucking 1,000 times. That movie sucks complete ass. It's actually terrible. Will.i.am is in that movie. It's horrible. Then they had Taylor Kiddish's Gambit. He looks physically like him. Just wasn't as buff as him, you know? But that movie, completely terrible. And then after that, Matthew Vaughn came in and directed First Class, really brought it back to what we knew from the first 2 movies. First Class, banger. Go and rewatch it again. Definitely holds up very well. People think if Bryan Singer did that, and I was like, no. Matthew Vaughn did First Class, because then Matthew Vaughn's the same guy who did Kick-Ass, which is based off Mark Millar's book, actually. And then after First Class, we had the best movie, in my opinion, of the whole franchise, which is Days of Future Past. That was directed by Bryan Singer. Easily one of the best super movies ever created. That movie's so damn good. And then you had Apocalypse. That's the problem with this universe. The Fox X-Men one was always really good. Oh, bad. Really good. Oh, really absolutely terrible. Then it was really bad again. It's just never any. It was good at being inconsistently consistent. That was the problem with the universe. And then timelines were all messed up. It was all fucked up. And then after X-Men Apocalypse, I watched Logan. Because it was kind of a send off for the character at that moment in time. What we thought, I think it's kind of highly an overrated movie in a lot of aspects. It's a fine movie. I don't consider it one of the best. And like, if you ask me, top 10, it might be, maybe, but I don't think it's a terrible movie. I just think it's as good as it makes it out to be. But it's a good movie for what it was. And then what else we have after that? I never saw the first Deadpool movie. I saw the second one. The second one was funny, but storyline wise, it's pretty bad. The storyline was. I mean, debatably, what is that? What storyline there, And then I pretty much didn't see Dark Phoenix or New Mutants. So, I only didn't see like 3 movies in the entire thing. Because when I was growing up, as people know, that was kind of like our MCU, you could say. You had all these random Marvel movies come out between like Fantastic Four, sometimes X-Men, Spider-Man, and all that stuff. And even from the first X-Men movie, the one directed by Bryan Singer, it's really cheesy. You go back and rewatch that, it's looking rough in some of those areas. I think X2, he actually improved quite a bit from the first one to that one. The Wolverine solo movies, like The Wolverine, which has the Silver Samurai, that one was just kind of, some of these movies borderline between worst movie ever made to extremely forgettable to like really, really, really good. That's the level we're dealing with here. Either the complete trash or just the fucking best thing you ever had since sliced bread. But we have an update on that, actually, because as you guys know, Disney did end up purchasing Fox, so they inherited all their shit. Was aliens and predators and X-Men characters and all that stuff, right? And we just recently had the Thunderbolts movie come out for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was their 36th film, the end of Phase 5, and we heard the rumors come out that the director of Thunderbolts is actually going to be potentially the guy that is going to direct the upcoming MCU X-Men film. Isn't that interesting? A guy that just did a group movie gets to do a group movie. Now, there are several rumored castings for this that I have to talk to you about. Now, you heard of them this week on Twitter. Guys, like, oh my God, several years ago, it was heavily rumored that Giancarlo Esposito could have actually played, guess who, guys? Not Bishop, not any of the other black mutant characters. He was actually going to play Professor X. And do you know who's going to get tapped to play Magneto? Denzel Washington. Or sorry, I think it was flipped. Denzel Washington was going to play Professor X, rumored, and Giancarlo Esposito was going to play Magneto. Yeah. So, what? Okay, just I know. And keep in mind, I know you guys don't read comic books. That's already established. Most of you guys don't even know what comic book even is. I know you guys watch the X-Men movies. Do you know the reason why Magneto's very, very angry? Yeah, it's kind of like revealed in all their movies. Actually, go watch First Class again. They actually take the footage from the very first X-Men movie, and then you take the back, and then it expands on that part of his backstory right there. So, Magneto, Eric Lenscher, is his real name, is Jewish. Okay, he's a Holocaust survivor. What do you think would happen if he was black? I don't know if Marvel is purposely trolling, because you know these stories sometimes like I do, man. They kind of throw this shit out there,
right,
trying to gauge out fan reactions. Before we even cover this news, that has to be one of the dumbest decisions I would... Guys, he is Jewish. He was a Holocaust survivor. There are specific reasons why he hates things the way he does and why he thinks humans are the way they are. Now, understandably, being black would change that. And if someone tries to tell me that the black experience compared to the Jewish experience is the same, your opinion means nothing to me, and I would never even bother hearing you out, because that would just be stupidity from the first words you would utterly speak. Like, then, because people are going to use the argument, well, it's like, well, if it's that usual argument, well, if they're good actors, then you just kind of just got to just deal with it. No, how about none of that? How about none of that at all? How about we get what they look like from the books on the screen? Giancarlo Esposito, Denzel Washington, fantastic actors. Would they fit the role of Professor X and Magneto? I absolutely do not think so. I don't even think they would even fit the roles despite being good actors themselves. I mean, maybe Denzel Washington, debatably maybe, but like they literally want to cast a person of color to play Magneto or Professor X. That's stupid. That is actually stupid. It's actually insane. What is wrong with these people? Do they really think the X-Men is just diverse for whatever reasons that they think they're diverse? Like, that's the reason why I hate having these X-Men conversations with people, dude, because they think like the weird diversity that Disney does is like why they were created that way. Guys, being honest here, Stan Lee created them that way, and freaking hell, was Jack Kirby? Yeah, Jack Kirby, actually. They created them that way, so they didn't have to do origin stories. It's literally nothing complicated about it. They just didn't want to do origin stories. That's the reason why they were made that certain way, you know? But now X-Men are just allegories for people of color and people with disabilities and whatever fucking weird shit Disney wants to push on people. It's just actually stupid. But I'll let you go, man. What did you want to say?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, those are different. I agree. In the long run, those castings I don't think would have been good. I think probably what they're trying to do is change the era that Magneto's origin is from. Since if you're talking about a movie now set in the 2020s, World War II was 80 years ago. That automatically bring Magneto, even as a 10-year-old, at 90 years old. So I think they're probably trying to move it up to the next big war or something like that. But even then, it's I think it would still be a big, despite having a great actor behind it. Don't get me wrong, I love Giancarlo Esposito. I love him in absolutely everything I see him in.
Terrific, honestly. He's actually he's one of the best parts of Brave New World, even though he was added in way later and wasn't even a part of the original idea for the movie.
Yeah. No, anytime he was on screen, it's like, oh yeah, I like him because it's Giancarlo. He does his thing. I didn't quite get his character, but I mean, hey, I like him.
It's crazy. I love how they had him be kind of like a ghetto version of Winter Soldier, trying to stake out Captain America when he's my God, Jesus Christ, Marvel. But yeah, I know you guys have heard those rumors for years. Now, one of them might not be going that way. I think My Time to Shine Hello put out that, hey, this other guy could be playing Magneto. This is what I think they're going to do. They're going to have Magneto, probably not black, but I'm pretty sure, just based off how Marvel is, they're definitely going to have Professor X black. I don't want it. I don't want it to happen that way. I'd rather him look like fucking Patrick Stewart or the other guy who portrayed him, James Marsden. I'd rather have either of those two do it still. It's crazy how Hugh Jackman is allowed.
James McAvoy. That's who.
James McAvoy. Did I say James Marsden? Yes. Holy crap! James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart It's crazy how Marvel allows Hugh Jackman to keep playing Wolverine for basically 80 years at this point, but those two who do the role completely fine are not allowed to. And keep in mind, I'll say this right now, Marvel, if you cannot cast them better than what you've already did, literally just use them. I would rather you just use them and just give me a decent movie. But then again, the director, Jake Schreier, he directed Thunderbolts. So
Mhm.
let's see if he can actually take on this project. The MCU X-Men movie reportedly finds director after 6-year wait. The X-Men movie may finally have found a director as a new Marvel Cinematic Universe report reveals a major update about the reboot. Marvel regained the rights to the X-Men back in 2019, and the studio is getting closer to properly introducing the beloved X-Men characters. Just pointing out right now, for anyone that doesn't read X-Men comic books, because I've dibbled and dabbled in them throughout many years of my life, and the current iteration of X-Men is not liked. So when people say, "Oh, it was in the comics," yeah, you're literally living under. You're either a tourist or you live under a rock. Nobody. I literally repeat, no one. Maybe like 5 people. Okay, I'll be honest. 30 people out of like 100, like what they're doing with the X-Men right now. Just pointing it out. X-Men have had a long history of complicated issues. I'll point out to one. Jonathan Hickman, a person you guys will probably know randomly. He's a big name in comics. Wanted to do an X-Men event with Marvel Comics. Then got kicked off his own project. That's how they treat people who do X-Men projects. He was doing this whole thing like Powers of 10 or something like that, and then just got removed. Like nothing. I mean, Rob Liefeld, the guy who created Deadpool, the guy that you guys like his character, he's been calling out people, Marvel Comics, for how badly X-Men has been ran. So if anyone uses arguments like, "Oh, it's in the comics, it must be good right now," you're an absolute retard. Just saying that right now. As such, a reboot starring the Marvel Mutant team has been in the works for quite some time. While Michael Leslie was hired to write the X-Men movie script last year, there haven't been any updates on the film until now. Yeah, I remember this. They announced him as the director, as the writer. I think he wrote like Bumblebee or some shit like that. I think I could be wrong. But outside of that, there's been really nothing announced. Did you like X-Men 97?
Oh, I thought that was great. I loved it. Honestly. I thought it was a great way to well, first off, I think the original X-Men 90 show was one of the best cartoons ever.
Really
I love, it's a great show, and I loved. It was crazy, like seeing that back because I binged all or a lot. Yeah, I pretty much binged all of it leading up to 97, and it's just great though because it just feels like it picked right off of it, and it just experiences more and more storylines, and kind of mixes up a little bit like the older ones are. And so anyway, I loved X-Men 97. I'm a little concerned about where it's going to be going because of whole situation with that show, but I loved it. I think that's the thing is actually because of how great X-Men 97 is, I think it's really going to be hard for this new X-Men movie to be a big hit in some ways because if that's done great, and then another big part of just them bringing in all these old X-Men characters from the Fox X-Men that you're just talking about into, as we know, with Doomsday and Secret Wars, where that's beloved castings, where you're now talking about, when did that first X-Men movie come out?
The year 2000?
So 25 years ago?
Shit.
I know, right? That's crazy, right?
It's crazy how the castings they announced, like you said, were cool. The only one I didn't like was James Marsden. Nobody liked his Cyclops ever. That was always done bad. They're like, you know what? We're bringing everyone back. And James Marsden. Shit. Did he improve his Cyclops? Because that needed a lot of work. Not just a lot of work. It needed. It's that meme on Twitter. You need to work on fucking writing, reading, arithmetic, just literally everything.
Yeah. But like the other castings are like great in it though, right? Like Patrick Stewart. It's like I don't know what other actor you could tap in to play Professor X. I would dare say that he's like the perfect live action casting of that movie, of that character. Yeah. Like who else could you possibly cast to even get close to his stature, if not better? Like I don't know who you could cast. And even though like Hugh Jackman's a bit different than what you think of a comic accurate Wolverine, he's a big
Multiverse is good
reason
now,
as
I
to
guess.
why he's a big reason now as to why Wolverine's huge now, and why those movies were big was because they loved his Wolverine, and so it's going to be hard for just the general to see a new Wolverine that's not Hugh Jackman, and so we'll see. I think there's a lot of things that's plaguing this movie, but we'll see what happens.
Also, that other thing that you mentioned with the X-Men, as far as like the X-Men 90s cartoon that even I grew up with, that's to me that's X-Men.
Right,
And
I agree. Yes,
that is the fact that I understand it's hard to always reflect things from comic books to movies and stuff like that. I understand that. But the fact that these movies, at least the Fox-Men X-Men ones, it's weird how people have the rose-tinted glasses with them sometimes. The criticism for them was always they only focused on Magneto, Professor X, and Wolverine. Mostly
right.
every other character got shunned. Hopefully, with this MCU X-Men movie coming up, hopefully that won't be the case, hopefully, but a man can only dream. In a new report from Deadline, Marvel Studios has reportedly entered early talks with Thunderbolts director Jake Schreier to helm the X-Men movie. According to Deadline, while it is unknown where things stand in the deal-making process, Schreier had a meeting with Marvel Studios last week that, per the trade, has led him to emerge as the top choice for the gig. At the time of this story's publication, Marvel Studios and Disney have not commented on Schreier's potential X-Men hiring, likely because he has not signed on for the film yet. It's not a surprise that Schreier is being considered to helm the X-Men reboot for Marvel Studios. The Thunderbolts reviews praised the filmmaker's work for how he brought together the morally gray characters to explore the depths of mental health, making the Phase 5 finale a standout for Marvel Studios. As Kevin Feige's X-Men plan is looking to be a big chapter for the MCU. Someone of Schreier's caliber could be exactly what the mutants need for their reimagination in the franchise. What is also clear from the X-Men report is how Marvel Studios has been making sure not to rush the process of finding a filmmaker. Oh, geez, I think that's the least of their warriors. Marvel, your problem is a story. If you hire, imagine Marvel doing this. We found this great director. Do you know who's writing it? The person who wrote Morbius. Yeah, that's.
Oh God.
Imagine, Jesus Christ, they hired the person who wrote Morbius. I'm actually hanging myself. I'm not kidding. Which is good to see, since rebooting the mutants for the MCU franchise should be a huge priority for Feige and his team. If Deadline's report is true regarding how Schreier's in recent days has begun turning down jobs, it might be a good sign that he is close to getting the gig. For now, it means it remains to be seen if Schreier signs on. There is currently no release date for X-Men, meaning Marvel still has plenty of time to work things out behind the scenes. When does that ever happen? Oh my God, I hate you people sometimes. Oh God, I'm gonna have a stroke. Stop me. Stop. I can't do it. This art piece is so good. I love it. If Schreier ends up directing the MCU X-Men movie, he would be an amazing fit, especially after how well he handled the characters and stories in Thunderbolts. In a scenario where Schreier and Marvel Studios formalize a deal, it wouldn't come as a surprise if there are more updates about the X-Men movie reboot at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, where they may finally start hinting at the direction of the MCU after Avengers Secret Wars. Hopefully, if everything works out behind the scenes, Schreier will be the one to helm the X-Men reboot for Marvel Studios. So I will say this. I did watch Thunderbolts, and I do feel like if you were going to go with someone to handle a group of characters, keep in mind, guys, Marvel right now can barely do one character justice. Can you imagine a director doing 5? This person who just directed Thunderbolts did a great job with the team dynamic. It's one of the things I actually really did enjoy about the movie. He did a great job with the team dynamics. But the only issue I think he had was that he had no real actual direction for Ghost. And I'll be honest here, I don't think anyone could have really had a direction for that character because we haven't seen his character since, God forbid, Ant-Man 2. She was already a horrible villain in that too. So I feel like what he did with US Agent was good. He gave Yelena the arc. Red Guardian was fun, as his only really character is just be fun at this point. And then you also had what's his name? Bucky, who was there too. And I feel like this would be their best choice for the X-Men movie. I mean, if you're going off just Thunderbolts or the New Avengers, full stop, Marvel. Yeah, I think that would be a fine choice. That's if you like the Thunderbolts. If you didn't like the Thunderbolts, then this would be a awful choice for you. I mean, who else you got? Ryan Coogler. He's gonna direct X-Men. Jesus Christ.
Right.
But I'll get your final thoughts and opinions. What do you think about Jake Schreier directing the? I'll just say it this way. What do you think about Jake Schreier potentially directing the upcoming X-Men MCU movie?
I mean, certainly not a bad choice. I was somebody that thought Thunderbolts was pretty solid, a lot better than a lot of Marvel's offerings over the last few years, I think, for the most part. And so I think that he's shown the ability to make a team-up movie. I think it could be a promising sign. I would actually say that it's probably one of the few things you could probably look forward to out of this new X-Men movie, where there's a bunch of other red flags, I think.
Yeah, and we also heard the final rumors from a while ago where potentially Wolverine won't be in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for people that don't know the comic book history of X-Men. Guys, Wolverine doesn't come in until much later in X-Men's history. He's actually not even in the very first issue of it, honestly. Right. He comes in with the whole giant-sized X-Men by fucking hell, Dave Cockrum and Stan Lee. Yeah. So he's I think it was Dave Cockrum and Stan Lee. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's Dave Cockrum. Yeah.
Later, the original team is like Angel, Jean, and Cyclops and Beast, actually. I'm pretty sure. So if you're going like, well, I want to see Wolverine there. Well, if they're going from a traditional approach, which they're not, because this is Marvel in 2025, that's not happening. If they're saying Wolverine might not be in it, do you think that is going to have an impact on the box office when we do finally cross this milestone, when we get to it?
I mean, potentially, because you have to think about how the modern people view X-Men now, right?
They view Wolverine as like the main guy of it, honestly.
Right, yeah. People love Wolverine. I mean, I think that's probably part of the reason why I've grown to really like Wolverine is because I grew up with this misconception that he is one of the main guys from the comics where, I mean, he did grow up big and he's constantly had his own series more than, I guess, any other single mutant probably.
He's the only, I think, X-Men or mutant character that has had a ongoing series for the longest, to the point where you can give the character like multiple omnibuses, collected editions. He sells very well. It's a character that will always sell no matter what, Yeah.
And so, he's definitely beloved, but I don't think it would be a bad idea saving him for his own movie, though. I think the problem would be you have to find a team of X-Men that would resonate with the audience. And I think what they should do for it is have a mix of like some of the big characters people love, like say maybe Cyclops and Jean Grey, but then also having like maybe a mixture of some other members that haven't really been shown as much. Could be interesting because there's several members that like they haven't really shown on screen before that could be cool to see. So
because the other thing to add to your point is that's what the other films really lacked, was giving characterization to the other characters not named Wolverine, Professor X, and Magneto. I know Halle Berry had her big issues with how Bryan Singer did her character the first two movies, where she had a bigger role in Last Stand, and then outside of just pretty much those three, I think if you have a group movie like they're going to do with X-Men, and then you have certain characters not really having a real use for the plot, that's going to feel very bad when it comes to, like, Ghost is one thing, but in X-Men, you pretty much want them to have like some sort of like dynamic, or they have like synergy in a certain way. You can't really have like a useless one. It's not really how that kind of functions, Yeah,
100%. So I think their hardest thing is to find a version of X-Men that works for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, we
Who
could
do
be
you think
all
the
day.
first villain should be?
Well, I remember hearing a rumor a long time ago that they would do Mr. Sinister first, and I love that idea as we haven't gotten a Mr. Sinister in live action. I think he'd be a great villain to see done in live action properly. And so I would take him as if that rumor was true, I'd be completely content with him being the villain. Yeah,
because it was hinted. I remember the post-credit scene in Apocalypse. It was hinted at he'd be the fucking those movies. Holy shit! But guys,
Dark Phoenix.
Shit, damn. I think the part where she was like the whole ex-woman line. Oh my god! Woo! Shit! Thank God those have been burnt to the ground.
Long as Marvel doesn't touch Dark Phoenix again, I'm happy because
We forgot
I'm
that. We got the
convinced.
Phoenix story, remember? We got it 2 times over the course of all those movies. Crazy.
I'm convinced that they just can't do that storyline in a movie anymore. Please don't give us that storyline again, or else I'm gonna lose my shit. So
Oh, God. Yes. Also, Marvel, please. I don't care what writer you hire. Please do not make the X-Men an allegory for marginalized groups. But they're gonna do it because that's who they. That's just in their DNA at this point. To just insert identity politics into the X-Men. I mean, you wonder why some of those books just fucking keep failing. But that is pretty much it for me having sex with my wife. I'm joking, guys. But no, my final thoughts on this is I think Jake Schreier can do it. I've seen him do decent stuff in Thunderbolts, but then again, the X-Men are going to be a little bit of a different beast to tackle. So well, hopefully the MCU can do their MCU movie justice when it gets to that point. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Peace. Wow. One more. And you were good, sir. Fist bump. Ugh. Fuck. Oh, yeah. We're this way. Shit. Damn it. Does not synced at all. We're fucking terrible. Don't worry, guys. We have one more thing to go over. And that's Thunderbolts' week 3 box office. Holy mother of God. Gonna have a short, easy, quick show tonight. Miss Sparkles left me like my wife. She left me for my dad, everyone. She left me. See, I'm gonna have Dingus come and take care of you, Miss Sparkles. Give her the 2-piece combo. That's all you need to do. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Oh no. This one. This is failing. Oh my God. Shit. I hate life. This is what I hate about people in general. As you know, they've convinced themselves that the alternate factor to their problems is forgetting the other bad possibility exists. Oh God. I can't do it. Oh my God. This is crazy. This is where we're at now with Marvel. This is where we're at now. I love it. We're getting praise for being one of the worst, probably lowest movies they've had in a very long time. It's actually terrible. It's actually bad. So here we go. We're going to have some fun with this one. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Thunderbolts' week 3 box office performance worldwide. So this movie, Thunderbolts, aka the New Avengers, the 36th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which concludes Phase 5, is actually utterly failing in fucking my wife. Full stop on the slop. Okay, I'm joking. I had you guys going there for a second.
They're doing crack!
Had you guys going there for a second. Good Lord.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Wow. Oh, it's Kevin. What's up, buddy? Kevin. Okay, I agree.
I mean,
casting
true.
a black person as Magneto is a good idea. I'm not sure what to tell you. I'm just saying that right now. Just look up who Magneto is, and you tell me what a straight-faced casting a black person would do that justice. You know what? Fuck it. Make him a black female. Cast Precious as Magneto. If we're just gonna just completely sprint it with castings. I'm joking. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Thunderbolts' week 3 box office performance worldwide. So Thunderbolts, aka the New Avengers, the 36th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is in its week 3 box office worldwide, and this movie is actually failing. Now, before you guys start grabbing your keyboards and going, link, hold on. I liked it too. It's a fun popcorn movie. It's a Fast and Furious type of MCU movie. Fun, enjoyable. I took my wife to go see it. We had sex before the movie. We had sex after the movie. And somehow I managed to make a video out of it. Full pause, stop, joking. So, you know what's crazy about life when it comes to movies, everyone, is people will go with these two thoughts in their heads. This is how it always plays out. Let's use BVS as an example. For some reason, there's a group of people that like BVS. I don't know why the movie's an actual pile of shit. Whatever. So BVS, let's just say, did well at the box office, and it really didn't. But let's just use it as an argument. BVS did well at the box office in mega quotations, right? And then people said they like it. Okay, so this is what actually happened. BVS's box office was absolutely terrible for those characters and how it performed, okay? Now, if you say I like the movie, that's two different things, okay? You can like a movie, but its overall box office performance is different, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's crazy with this situation right now is that people actually, I'm guessing, liked whatever Thunderbolts offered them, and they're going, you know what? It didn't actually fail at the box office. Guys, this movie's failing bad, actually. It's actually failing horrifically. The same things that people said about Brave New World, I don't notice are using the same arguments with this one. It's doing the same. These are literally doing the same things. These are doing the exact same numbers in the exact same time frame. Both of them are. The difference is the other one's budget is we don't know if it was 360 or 180. Flip a coin, whatever Marvel tells us, right? Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But with this one has a $180 million budget attached to it, $100 million in marketing. If you think marketing is separate from the actual movie, you're also an idiot. So that's 280. Okay, so 280 times 2, which would be what it would need to make to break even. Okay, I'm going to bring up a calculator right now. Let's do I'm black. I can't. I didn't go to school.
Is that
was right.
Did you say 240 million initially?
Let's do it. It's just, so the budget is 180.
Oh, 180.
Marketing budget is 100 million. So that equals 280. So isn't it like what 2.5 is what it needs to make back for break even or production budget back or something like that? So we'll not do that one. We'll just do like 280 times 2 because 0.5 would make it all weird. Okay,
right,
so
fine.
If we factor in the actual budget of the film plus marketing, it needs to hit 560 to break even. And whenever we mention breaking even's not good. If you tell an executive who spent literally tens of millions on this movie that he would break even, he would throw you out the room because break even in business terms means you didn't make shit. Well, you didn't lose anything, but you didn't make anything either. What Marvel wants to make for this movie is what the Minecraft movies made. So I know we only covered the Minecraft movie, basically week 1 of its box office. Where's fucking hell? Box office mojo. So this is what they really want out of their blockbusters, if we're being completely honest here. Now people are gonna be like, but Minecraft's a big property. It doesn't matter. This is the number that they really want here. They want this. This is what they really want for how much money they're spending. Warner Brothers put in like what, 180 into this, maybe 200. Marketing was like $100 million.
Yeah.
So this is definitely profitable for them. This is what they want. This is the numbers that they look forward to. They don't look forward to getting $400 million back. Just put it from a complete business standpoint. If anyone says they're looking to break even, that's a loss. If you say a movie looks forward to break even, that's a complete failure, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what's happening right now with Thunderbolts. I don't know why people are treating this movie with Kiko. This is failing. This is completely failing. And it's no problem with the movie itself. It's because you could say Marvel fatigue. You could say people just not trusting the brand anymore based off of phase 4 and 5. Well, and this is the end of phase 5. So this is just going to take the brunt end of everyone's kind of frustrations. And they're going, basically, I don't really trust to go to the movie theaters anymore. And I don't really trust to give my money to Marvel in that aspect, you know? So
Right.
Marvel's Thunderbolts is butthole. I'm joking with you. Marvel's Thunderbolts passes major box office milestone in just 2 weeks. That's fucking nothing. Oh, good lord. The milestone is it's not the lowest grossing movie. It's the 3rd lowest grossing.
Oh, well.
That's
At
like
least it-
saying you're the smartest midget or something. It's like, oh
it's,
god. What do you think,
I
man?
mean, at least it passed the second lowest, I guess. I mean,
Oh my
hey.
God, Dan! Oh no, they got him. He's buying. It's like when you watch Family Guy, like those videos. 100 facts about Family Guy. Did you know that Brian Griffin is voiced by Seth MacFarlane? Yes.
What?
Everyone
It's
crazy.
crazy.
It's insane. You blew my mind. Oh God. Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts has reached a key mark at the box office. Yeah, fucking failure. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to say that out loud. The Marvel Cinematic Universe's latest release has already left the franchise. Sorry, the Marvel Cinematic Universe's latest release had already left the franchise's biggest box office bomb, The Marvels, behind. That's not good. That's just
Yeah.
Is that what we have to do now to praise these movies for completely failing? Hey, they're not doing as bad as that other really shitty movie no one went to watch.
Yeah, no, it's rough. That's for sure.
That's rough as a
To put
stretch.
put it kindly, yeah.
It's that meme of that freaking doll in the house and the whole house is on fire. This is fine. I'm downloading that for a clip. I need to have that. However, with Thunderbolts' ending and the MCU's movie's post-credit scene setting up some major changes for the future of the franchise, Thunderbolts continues to climb at the box office. Dude, climbed to nowhere. It's climbing to a break even. Congrats. That has now culminated in Thunderbolts reaching an important box office milestone after its second weekend in theaters, moving the needle in the hopes of the film turning a profit for the studio. Oh, it's not turning any profit. You won't be getting any green numbers out of this. According to the data from Box Office Mojo, Thunderbolts has passed the $300 million mark at the worldwide box office. The MCU's latest 2025 movie currently stands at $325.7 million. Thunderbolt's budget was reported to be $180 million. Based on that, the movie would need to enter the $360 to $450 million range to be profitable, accounting for marketing costs. You see how deceptively worded that is?
Right.
Why didn't they just add in the $100 million for marketing? We know it was reported that it had a $100 million marketing added to it. Now, it does say accounting for marketing costs, but
Right.
it doesn't say the exact number. So this right here would look like, oh, it's going to do pretty good. And keep in mind, let's just use it without marketing. Let's just say without marketing, it has to hit $450 million to break even. It's not doing that. Let's even use their lingo. Let's say profitable at 450 million. That's not happening either. It's not reaching 450. I mean, even if it did, it wouldn't be profitable anyway, but I don't. Because Captain America Brave New World, didn't that bomb out at like 412 or something like that? Something crazy, right?
That seems right. Yeah, around there.
At the moment, Thunderbolts global box office numbers put it higher than two MCU movies, The Marvels, which sits at 199 points. That's fucking terrible. That's awful. That's literally awful. And The Incredible Hulk, which has a 265.5 million total haul. Also, they always fail to tell you guys this in these kind of articles. You have to account for the theaters taking their cut. The theaters take about 45 to 50%. So this right here, you have to divide that by 45%. That's why you need to make a lot of money, because the theaters take a big cut of that. Actually, you can't just make like little money like that and go like, we're making money. It's like, that's not work that way. Thunderbolts passing the $300 million mark worldwide is a positive sign. No, it's not. That it could end its theatrical run by at least making back what Marvel Studios spent on the movie. That's not what Marvel Studios is looking forward to. Marvel Studios is looking for fucking bank. I don't want to. That's like if I gave, let's say I gave Spencer $5 and I said, invest this, and I want to make 2 times that. And he comes back to me 2 weeks later and he gives me $6. Would I be happy with that? That's kind of what they say right here in these articles most of the time. Since it needs to enter the 360 to $450 million range to break even and to turn a profit, that's just all lies. Thunderbolt's current global total of 325.7 million has it itching closer to the lower end of that mark. Based on that projection, Thunderbolts would need to make 34.3 million at the very least to have a shot at what could be considered a decent run at the box office. What Thunderbolts box office means is that the days of every other MCU movie making close to over $1 billion at the box office are likely gone. Even with positive reviews and great word of mouth, as well as Thunderbolts' major new Avengers reveal, the MCU movie is not going to end its box office run with impressive numbers. Still, Thunderbolts gets closer to what it needs to make money back in just 2 weeks. All that is that's just such a crock of shit. That said, anything above $400 million is looking hard at the moment. And you had people, and I had people tell me, well, the movie making what it made, it's fine, considering that I knew nothing about it. That doesn't mean anything. Just because you never heard about this doesn't mean it should just completely fail. What absolute shit logic is that? Sinners, a movie that Ryan Coogler just did randomly, is going to actually be profitable for the studio. None of you knew what Sinners was. Y'all every single person when you went and watched it. Well, you better wouldn't actually pay for the tickets. I can't support black people. I'm a white guy. Joking. Pause. So the thing here to understand with all of this is the new Avengers reveal was it was never anything genuine. It was always out of desperate for Marvel as their plan. They called it the new Avengers after opening weekend to see the box office tickets surge because they thought if they just retitle it New Avengers, they're all just gonna flock to the theaters and see it. That didn't happen. So that's why they called it that, because they saw the numbers come in at the end of Sunday night when its opening weekend, ended. They didn't call it the New Avengers because it was fucking a plan they probably already had. That was a plan B they had if it didn't do well. Keep in mind, if Thunderbolts made like what Minecraft did in week 1, like $400 million, do you really think they would switch the name? Wouldn't make any sense, right? It's the same thing that DC did with Birds of Prey. It's like literally the exact same thing. Thunderbolts passing through the $300 million mark is positive. I can't. Please, someone, please. Fuck me, man. I hate life. I literally hate life. Just.
Man, people smoke crack and you shouldn't do that.
Just kill me.
I agree. Yeah,
Thunderbolts passing the $300 million mark is positive. No, it's not. And a sign that MCU audiences will still show for lesser known characters. This is true. Despite the MCU telling their fans basically everything you could possibly think of. You're the worst person ever. You're a racist, bigot, blah, 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 all the buzzwords, right? They still show up. We all still do, hoping it's going to get back to the, Iron Man, Avengers, Civil War, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame period. We all hope it's going to eventually get back to that point because we have such bad Stockholm syndrome that we're always going to come back. We're like a beaten wife, So,
wow.
He gives me black eyes a few times, but he loves me. That's what Marvel is to us at this point, but the problem that this has with these numbers is that this shows that their overall huge appeal they used to have is not there anymore. This is the numbers that you get when like a TV show that's had its long running course is over and you just have that core fan base. So if it's big based off the fan base you accumulated, that's the fan base you really have. Not based off the people that are just kind of there to see where it goes and then they just kind of drop off. These are the fans that are still there after literally everything. That's the point. These are the people you have. And that's bad, honestly, because they had so much more of the people interested in their stuff. And this is the result of their own actual ego destroying themselves. This isn't good at all. Anyone saying that's good is a moron, and you should never take business advice from them. And if you gave them money, you're getting $6 back next week. Just saying that right now. However, we need to get used to the fact that these more obscure characters will no longer get near the $800 million mark to a billion mark. Why did they ever get there? They got there because people liked what they were doing. So if the MCU was doing what they did before and people liked it, a movie like this would probably do $600 million within 2 weeks, not 300 in 2 weeks. And that's okay. It's not okay. That's basically, how would I say this? That's like a girl who wants to give up on her husband going, you know what? It's okay if he just kind of just beats my ass. It's okay. No.
Wow.
Damn, I watched too many movies. I think the reveal of the new Avengers twist in the movie and the positive word of mouth have helped Thunderbolts.
Did it?
Did it? That's I think what's the thing you guys made in your generation? Press X to doubt on that one. I pressed hard X to doubt on that one with its theatrical legs. But the MCU movie is starting to face fierce competition, which will test its staying power. Thankfully, Thunderbolts is now closer to its break-even point. You know, it's fucking crazy. They just told you earlier it was going to be profitable. Oh, now it's going to... Fuck off. Oh my... I hate you people. I think I'm going to have a stroke. Oh my... Oh my God. We know the break-even point. It's around 560. But if you want to take away the $100 million in marketing, cool. Let's say it's 450.
Yeah.
Is it going to get 450? Honestly, I don't think so. So I wanted to show you guys something here really quickly. That's my Google search history. That's all my porn. You guys can't see that. I want to show you guys something here really, really quickly, to the point where you could see how trades are even different from each other based off how they've actually reported on the movie itself. So I'm gonna just bring it up right. Oh my goodness, jeez. Hold on. Thunderbolts. I think I have it right here. Right here. Finally found it. So this trade right here, Forbes listed it where the movie should be at. Thunderbolts hits milestone as the second lowest earning MCU film. That's literally what it is right now. And this guy, Paul Tassi, is a fucking shill. Like a literal shill. Has Disney's cock literally down his throat to his esophagus. And he's even calling this a failure. This is a failure. We're being completely honest here. So that's where we're at with Thunderbolts' week 3 performance. It is doing terrible. You know? But then again,
100%.
what I've learned from these trades, it's okay. It's okay to completely fail now because we're not in that time period anymore. Do you know why you're in this time period now, Marvel? You put yourself there.
That's true.
You did that. We're just here for the ride. I'm just here to see Wanda enslave people and then blame everyone else. That's where we're at now. And I'll say this right now. John Walker was right. He didn't do anything wrong, but he was branded a horrible person. But I'll ask Spencer before we head out of here in this video. What are your thoughts and opinions on Thunderbolts' box office completely failing, despite liking the movie, which I did? It's sad that a movie this fun is failing because of Marvel's own problems.
You know, it's definitely sad to see because since I did enjoy the movie, like you said, but it's also painting a picture for me the more I think about it of if this is meant to be a vital step, and obviously the good word of mouth isn't working for the movie. That's the thing is we've seen a solid word of mouth work for Sinners, but not for this. And it's I can't think of a reality where Marvel can really be back on track, sadly, with going into Doomsday and Secret Wars, and even after that, because I think, as you've said, they've lost the trust of so many people. I just find it so hard to believe that they could even turn it around at all. Like, I don't know what they could really do, and I think this is such a big sign of where, you know, they're at a point where, you know, we had Guardians of the Galaxy before when Marvel was at a great point, and people are like, "Who are these characters?" Right? And I think
it made a lot of money. It made a lot of money.
It made a lot of money. Yeah,
With Guardians, we never had that issue. Guardians came out back when it was in its prime, or beginning to be in its prime. Made shitload of money. Actually, made a lot.
Yeah.
But now we just have to accept these movies for lesser known characters to be just failing, and it's like, wasn't that Marvel's bread and butter for this universe? We took lesser known obscure characters and we turn them into household names.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
You can't do that now because that's not the narrative you're in. They literally think they're in the narrative from like Guardians 1. It's literally not the state of where they're at. And it's what we keep telling people. In comic books, you cannot make every single obscure thing popular because they're obscure for a reason, because people just probably didn't fucking like them. It's just that simple. You know, not every obscure character is some sort of like diamond in the road. You know, it's just not how that works.
Right. I think the big problem with this movie is if you're not a big fan already, it's like, what's the appeal of this movie? And I really don't think this movie has one much, other than a couple niche spots. And I think that's the biggest problem with the movie as to why it's failing so hard is I only see there's two appeals for this movie. A, you're just a Marvel fan that you watch absolutely everything, which is obviously it for me. B, they went with his A24 aesthetic, and as we know, A24 is growing, but it's still kind of a niche company, even though they're gaining more and more followers and supporters as we go. But they're still kind of niche, you know, like they're trying to get bigger, but there's only so many diehard A24 fans that would even go watch something like this, and so
That's true.
Other than that, I don't see any other appeal for this movie. Like I family and friends that used to watch Marvel, and I told them about this, and they're like, "What's this? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, interesting. Enjoy." It was pretty
Yeah,
much
because people
what I
like
got.
that back then would have just watched them because the word of mouth was so strong and people
Mhm.
loved it so much, they would just constantly talk about it. And the other thing I was gonna add to your point, which is very good that you brought it up, is people back then, which is like, this is how things get to be. You know, when things aren't
Mhm.
the newest, shiniest thing,
Mhm.
people tend to fall off. It happens. Let's use Power Rangers for example. I don't know if you ever watched Power Rangers, but Power Rangers is something where like, a lot of people watched it when it first started, and then it started to trickle down to see who was going to really stick with it for the long
Mhm.
haul versus who's just going to be there up front for the right now. And all
Mhm.
of those Marvel fans were there for the right now until the Infinity Saga was over, and then once they kind of saw the writing on the wall that it was never going to be as good as what they perceived right now at that moment in time to be, they
Right.
just left. Now you can't get them back. So the only way to get them back, they're like, oh fuck, RDJ, Doctor Doom. Hell yeah. Oh, you guys like those Fox X-Men movies that you probably shitted on, but just say now they're really good because you're a fucking moron? Hell yeah. You like
Right.
James Marsden, Cyclops? No one ever did. Bring him back. You like that Nightcrawler guy? I like the Nightcrawler guy. He was very, very good.
It was cool.
Bring him back. It was awesome. You love Rebecca Romaine as Mystique? Bring her back, you know? So
Yeah.
that's also interesting for me because now looking at Thunderbolts and Captain America Brave New World both essentially flop now. I wonder what that
Mhm.
poses for Fantastic Four. That's a different conversation now because if these two movies that both flop back to back because people just simply do not like or do not care about this universe anymore, how
Mhm.
does Fantastic Four perform? Because now with that notion and logic in mind, that means Superman's chances of doing better have just went up exponentially. And Jurassic Park or Jurassic World at Jurassic Park 7 essentially. Jurassic Park 7 is going to do well regardless. I think that's in its own different league. Guys, if that makes
They always do
$1 billion,
well.
that'll probably be the first $1 billion movie of the year. I'm calling it right now. That's going to be it. Those movies
Awesome.
just and those movies aren't even good. Those are some really awful fucking movies. Those last three, whoo! Those last two were bad. Didn't matter. People just love dinosaurs. Tyrannosaurus Rex, whatever. Triceratops, just get them in there. They love them all. So this does not bode well for Fantastic Four at all. Not at all. If Fantastic Four fails like this one has, then what can Marvel do outside of just Avengers movies to get people to come back and watch their films? Because like you said when we had our one-on-one, I believe what you said is true. Like I've said it too. Avengers movies will get people back. That I firmly believe.
Mhm.
But outside of Avengers movies, what else do you have? Because these other characters ain't doing it for you anymore. They're
All
just
right.
not. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Fantastic Four is definitely their last hope to build any hype towards those Avengers movies, and part of me wonders too of with them just trying to desperately rename the movie New Avengers. Obviously, as they're playing all along as a marketing attempt, as you talked about, and I completely agree. It also makes me wonder though if like with the situation that this movie is in, does it make this because of this movie, does it tarnish the name of the Avengers now?
True. Yeah. Because at the end of Thunderbolts, they just became the Avengers, and I thought that was supposed to
The
mean something.
Avengers.
Yeah, now
Right.
and the villain of the movie just is now gonna introduce people to the event. So literally, well, I forgot her name, Valentina. Oh, she's so hot. Oh my goodness. She's like, what if Valentina just went up to God forbid, Hela? You're an Avenger now. Does that make she then just make her an Avenger now? That's the logic we have for how this works? I thought being an Avenger meant something. But no,
Right.
that just shows how desperate Marvel is to just have an Avengers team
Mhm.
because they knew they didn't have one going into Doomsday. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Peace. And now before we head out, which is going to be like in about a minute or two here, Dingus came on to have a show with me after everyone left me. So he's literally better than my dad. We got him there. Good Lord. But please do not. Someone sent me that clip for the Last of Us where that girl was like, I'm going to be a dad. And I was like, all right, well, this is just, what the fuck is this? But I'm going to go play League in a little bit here after I rest up and take a shower and
Enjoy.
eat food. Nah, I'm just gonna fucking just play League after this.
There you go.
That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, anything you want to let the audience know about before we head out? Anything that you're gonna be working on throughout the week coming up?
Tomorrow I drop my next episode of Shell Talk, where we're talking about the return of Shredder from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics. As we're going to be doing our best actually to put out these Shell Talks weekly throughout the summer. Get through all the original era is the goal for this summer. So if you're a Turtles fan, be sure to check out my podcast talking about Turtles. As well as this Sunday will be the next episode of the Comic Den, where I will be talking about Superman Unlimited issue 1, which I'm very excited to delve into that. So be sure to go to the Dingus on YouTube and check out all that stuff. If superheroes is your jam or comic book stuff in general, there's lots of it over there.
Yeah, I definitely recommend going out and checking through my wall right now to see where my dad. I'm joking. So I definitely recommend to go check out Dingus Den's YouTube channel. Puts out comic book content like I do on my comic book channel. Just letting you guys know, last week's episode of Comic Book Market Watch is coming out, so don't worry about that. It won't be as late this week coming up as was last week. I just was really busy last week and I just couldn't get it done in time. But it is done. Video's edited. I'm just gonna release it to you guys tomorrow, and I'm gonna release a few more videos that I've been wanting to just edit and get done for you. I'm a little bit behind on edited content right now, but don't worry. You guys enjoy it all the same. Whether it's late or early, it doesn't really change the numbers, actually. You guys tend to just the watch time on the podcast have gone up exponentially. So
That's awesome.
thank you guys. Guess we're doing a good job. I try to bring on, people that, can talk and give their opinions in a long length. They can explain their thought process behind everything, because I like being that level of genius myself. But so tomorrow on the MSK show, it's me and Laps's show. We're going to review one of the new DC Comics' Absolute books, whether it's pretty sure Martian Manhunter #1. After that, I'm gonna probably just play, probably do a game stream after that, and then Wednesday, me and Savage Dad's last show before he goes on vacation, and then we'll have the panel show with me, Lunchbox Warren, and Great Poupée, and Thursday is the Cloud9 podcast and the MSK show with Lunchbox Warren. So, yeah, that is gonna be pretty much it. So, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK show.